We're
live.
And we're trying to do it the right way, all of us. And
Yep.
yet this arsehole has done this, basically.
Yeah.
Excuse my French. Or
You can't say that. That was recorded.
Live,
It
live,
was.
live, live,
We're
live.
live.
the first word that was recorded was a swear word.
Welcome,
We are live.
everyone.
Good morning.
I hope he's watching.
Yeah, welcome everyone to our Success Mastermind for Monday, September 14th, 2020. Lavenia here. The clock strikes 9 o'clock in my case, and we go live. I see Adrian and Rose, of course, Neil, and I'm sure Jane is. Oh, there's Jane. I just said her name, and like her head just popped up. Good to see you, my friend. Janet, Jamie, Evelyn, good to see you. I'm sure Javier around there somewhere. Mary, of course, Mark's here. Bill, good to see you, Bill. Did you have a good weekend, Bill?
I did.
Yeah, very
did.
good. We need to talk, Bill. We got lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Suzanne, of course, Ego's here. And Jane, good to see. She's kind of frozen. She looks like a statue right there. But we'll see what happens with her. What is that you're waving there? Oh, licorice? Oh, Ego, you've got licorice. Wayne, good to see you. Kim, Nancy, our favorite yoga instructor. Sherry Ann's here. Daisy. Nikki, of course, Ivier is here. We couldn't possibly have this mastermind without Ivier. Good to see you. Allison's back. Glad to see you back. Glenn, what are you in the garage today? You got Lexus over there?
With the outside thing. This is Paula's Lexus. My truck is out front. And yes, I made it back from the dentist with a whole mouth. Can you believe it?
Fantastic. Welcome, sir. So glad you're here. You got a mouth, you got a stogie to put in it, and you are all set. Hey, Evelyn, good to see you, Star. As always, and everyone else who doesn't fit on the screen, we are so glad you're here. If you're just tuning in via the interwebs, we were just having a conversation about people hijacking other people's Amazon listings, right? So we got a lot of Amazon sellers here, and they're doing their work to do the product research, and you're putting up the pictures, and you got the whole thing set, and then somebody else comes in and decides to undercut you by 10 cents or whatever. I got an idea, Neil, just to kind of complete that thought before we get on to loftier philosophy. And that is maybe to include a free Lamborghini or something, and then just raise your price. Right? Raise your price by 200 grand, get a free Lamborghini when you buy the DeWalt drill or whatever it is. And then the other guy gets to deliver Lamborghinis, right? For 10 cents less. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Yeah.
We'll try that one.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and move on from that. These are the intricacies of doing business online, which kind of brings me to something that was popping up for me today, which is something that I think is appropriate for everyone who's here as an entrepreneur, whether you're selling e-commerce, Amazon, Shopify, or whatever you're doing. But something that we've talked about before that I think is certainly relevant based on what we were just talking about pre-show, and that is a point of differentiation, something that separates you, hopefully puts you head and shoulders above the rest of the competition. Speaking of Amazon, more than 80% of people who sell on Amazon also sell off platform. So in my case, as someone, let's say as John Lavenia, right, there is obviously something unique and different about my brand. Okay. We also have my wife who runs Brand Builder, right? So she's got a whole branding agency that we run. So that is designed to help people occur as unique, right? And certainly if you're selling yourself, right, as I do, well, it's kind of hard to imitate that. In fact, Ralph Emerson said, imitation is suicide. Try and be, fill in the blank with, an author or speaker or someone whose work you admire. Try and go be that. You're going to look like a fool. And people will consider you as such. Okay. So the product then is what I'm looking at. What is the product? And is that something that could be done, even if it's something that you can see happening on a platform like the biggest retail platform of all, Amazon, right? So even if it's something that exists there, can it also exist off platform, perhaps in a way that fetches even a higher price, right? And in a way that I'm going to mute a couple noisy lines here. That fetches a higher price, and that perhaps is packaged with something else, perhaps something intangible. That's interesting. I'll talk more about that here in a minute. But something with a much higher perceived value. So think of it like this. If you've got, let's say you're doing business online and you've got widget X, right? Whatever that is. And it's a commodity, meaning that it's something I can get here, or I can get there, or I can get anywhere, right? There's lots of widgets around. Okay. Well, what if this widget, let's say, for example, was a weight loss type product, an exercise band, or I don't know, maybe even a supplement or something. We have a lot of people who have white label products, right? Here's a supplement, a vitamin or what have you, and they put their label on it. Could be the same exact formula that the other guy's putting the label on. But when they buy it from you, they're buying it alongside or with the accompanying the guidebook. Could be a PDF, which doesn't cost you anything to deliver. But if you're shipping a bottle anyway, you might as well ship a paper book. Or here's the video course, which is worth, I don't know, fill in the price with whatever you think it's worth. We're talking about perceived value. We're not talking about intrinsic value. I got a whole rack of books over there, right? They're not worth the paper that they're printed on. Although the subjective value of that, the perceived value of that, I'm not willing to part with that stuff. Frankly, I'd rather turn it all into digital. There are a couple of collector's pieces that I would not turn into digital just to have them, like this is a precious, piece of memorabilia or something. Like I've got an original copy, first printing of Wake Up and Live by Dorothea Brand, which I got for $1, $2 maybe on eBay. Yeah, they didn't know what they had, right? So they're just unloading books here. Hey, give me $1 for the book, right? It cost me more for shipping. But there's a subjective value or a non-intrinsic value. Intrinsic meaning it's built in, it's part of the thing, it's very objectively seen. There it is. That's value just based on the cost of materials and everything. Well, the cost of materials on books, meh, right? Paper, recycled paper at that, whatever, right? Binding, non-binding, who cares, right? But what does it mean, right? What does it mean to me as the reader and as the customer? That's the question I think we have to ask ourselves. Anyone who's engaged in business, whether you're selling yourself, your writings, your teachings, which are very hard to or impossible to imitate, or you're selling, the widget, whatever that happens to be, is there something you can do to position that thing head and shoulders above the masses? In other words, have a clear point of differentiation where it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to buy it from that person because I get all this other benefits too. Right. And the cost in my own brain, not that people sit around and do this and make spreadsheets per se, but the cost of maybe paying a little bit more, not less, but more to get all these other perceived benefits as well, the video program, the ebook, the whatever it is. I'm going to go ahead and part with an extra $100. Fine. I've done that plenty of times, right? Look, you can go piecemeal. In fact, one of the businesses that I run is a consultancy where we basically sell programs based on people who are doing marketing. So here's the marketing that's happening. They're putting out communication into the public, advertisements. Here's publicity, right? PR, and they're attracting what? Traffic. They're getting fresh eyeballs on the offer, whatever the product or service happens to be. Okay, but they can't sell. They can market. They can't sell. Two different things. Some of us have had this conversation before. Okay, so they can market, they can bring in traffic, but can they convert that traffic into buyer, right? Now the person has transacted business. Perhaps they even refer others. And so one of the things that I do is we consult with companies like that who they've got traffic, they need conversions, right? Well, we convert, right? We sell. So considering that, is there, and I'm going to go down this road a little bit more in case you're vague on the difference between, marketing and sales. Okay. But is there a way that you can compel this traffic, this person who just put their eyeballs on your stuff, perhaps for the first time, to buy from you right now and not your competitors, and not just sit here and do nothing. Right. In fact, if you could answer that question, here's one of the most powerful questions in business, I think. And I got this from Dan Kennedy. Some of you know Dan Kennedy, one of the highest paid copywriters on planet Earth today. He gets $100,000 just for a sales letter. You want him to write a sales letter for you? $100,000. In fact, you pay up front, then you get to meet with Dan. Okay. He doesn't talk to prospects. So there comes a point where you don't get paid for what you do, but for who you are. Right? Think about that. You can get to the point where there is no competition for you, right? Because you are the Glenn Henderson, the Star Hart, right? What are you selling? Whatever you feel like selling, right? But people are buying you. So what Dan said is to come up with this unique selling proposition, right? Answer this question. It's not an easy question to answer. Why should I buy from you right now and not any of your competitors and not just sit here and do nothing? Great question to ask. Some companies take years to answer that question, and you crystallize and morph it here and there, but it's a huge question, right? Think about that, because what are people most resistant to? Most often resistant to making decisions. Have we not discovered that? I mean, just looking at ourselves, just introspecting and saying, oh, why have I not gotten that done? Oh, well, I must not have made the decision, because if I made a decision, I would see my feet moving. To decide, but to not act is to not have decided. I guess I haven't decided. Indecision. It plagues the human race. My goodness, everywhere you look. Okay, how much would we get done if we just decided what to do? And we knew where our stuff was, right? That was the other conversation we had a week ago, whatever it was, right? People spend half their time just looking for their stuff. Where's my stuff, right? And then assuming they've got their stuff, all right, what do I do with my stuff? What do I do? Those two things, right, Glenn? We answered that whole mystery of the universe. Where's my stuff? What do I do? If you could answer those two questions, man, you've arrived. So back to the unique selling proposition. Why should I buy from you right now, not your competitors, and not sit here and do nothing? Okay. So sales and marketing, two different things. We're going to start with sales, which is a simpler concept. Okay, which we're all looking to do as entrepreneurs, right? Or as parents, right? Sell, yeah. As people pursuing a relationship or maintaining a relationship, there's sales. That happens all the time. Now, I say that as a guy who's been in sales for a long time. And as the old saying goes, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So as a sales guy, everything looks like a sales opportunity. Everything. I'm selling you right now. Right now, I'm selling you an idea. You're either buying it or not. That's your choice. Okay, but a transaction is occurring. So what is sales? Sales is the transfer of enthusiasm. That is my favorite definition of it. We can read whole books about this. If we boil it right down to one thing, the transfer of enthusiasm. If we got a bunch of people standing around wondering where we should go for dinner and nobody's quite sure, but then one person speaks up and says, oh, Mama's Italian place down the street. Oh my goodness, they got the best lasagna. We got to go to Mama's. Sold. We're going to Mama's, right? What just happened? They raised your enthusiasm because they know something that you didn't already know. You were ignorant to Mama's. Now you know, because they just transferred some of that knowingness. Now, if they don't know, you can't know. You can't give what you don't have, right? So I am sold myself. If we look at enthusiasm, the last four letters of the word in the English language anyway is IASM. I am sold myself. I'm sold myself. I am enthusiastic. I know stuff. That doesn't mean I'm bubbly and jumping up and down, although it could mean that. But now I transferred some of that knowingness and some of that enthusiasm to you. I've augmented your level of enthusiasm for participating in whatever the benefits, Mama's lasagna, fine, sold. I may not have gotten paid on that deal, or I may have, in case I'm a shill for Mama's. I don't know. Maybe they're paying me under the table. But you get the point, right? I just transferred some enthusiasm. You know more than you did before because you met me. Good news for you. As long as I'm ethical, right? As long as I'm not selling you up the river, that's good news for you. Okay, so what is marketing? Okay, so knowing that sales must occur because nothing happens. Mama's lasagna doesn't get made or eaten until somebody buys it, right? So what is marketing? And these two have to go together, okay, but they are distinct and different. So marketing is the act of reaching into the public, impinging on their space, and putting their attention on that which you offer, purpose of which is to increase the demand for what you supply. I'll say that again. So marketing is the act of reaching into the public, impinging on their space, and putting their attention on that which you offer to increase the demand for what you supply. Supply and demand. We've all heard that concept before. Well, you've got supply. You've got product. You've got widgets. You've got books. You've got ideas. You've got whatever you're selling. Okay. To who? Great question. The public. What segment of the public? The whole public? Well, everybody dreams of that, right? Everybody, we could look at some super high penetration products like an iPhone, right? They don't have the whole public. Here comes Android, Samsung, Google phones now, Motorola. They've been around a long time. Nokia. Is Nokia still in business? I don't know. Whatever happened to Nokia? Nokia used to sell this, talking about a unique selling proposition. They used to make this product called the Virtu. Anyone ever hear of the Virtu? It's a high-end cell phone. right? Bejeweled like gold and like diamonds and crap. People would spend $10,000 on a basic phone made by Vertu, which was a high line from Nokia. They used to advertise it in the Rob Report, so you can pull a piece of jewelry out of your handbag, I suppose, and be better than the Joneses or why ever you would buy that. I don't know, but I never bought one. I looked at the ads. Anyway, they had supply. They were increasing the demand, so they were paying a lot of money to be in these luxury magazines. So somebody who's willing to part with $10,000 for a basic, cell phone would do so, and I'm sure they sold some. So who are we targeting with this? The whole public? No. If you're vanilla, you're ignored. The ideal target audience, I want to impinge on them. In fact, with that same logic, if I'm outrageously attractive, here's an affirmation for everyone. I am outrageously attractive to my ideal prospect. I am my product is outrageously attractive to my ideal customer. What does that mean? What is the flip side of that? I am repulsive, or my product is repulsive to those who are not the ideal, or those who would waste my time, or those who would just be looking for a 10 cents discount, or can I get it for $1 less? There are times, because I've been in sales for a long time, there's times where I lost a sale to a competitor, thankfully, because this was such a problem person. Oh my goodness, please don't buy. And they did it. Now, I always go to serve the customer, right? And if they want to buy, we're gonna go ahead and have them transact business. But there are times where after the fact, whether they bought or not, let's say they actually did buy, and now, and they got the price down to the lowest possible price. And now every week it's another problem with this person. Oh my goodness, I wish they didn't buy. Any of you in sales have experienced this, right? I'm sure you've experienced this, but you've also experienced the customer just walks in, pays sticker price, buys everything. In fact, brings their friends. In fact, sell me every add-on you got. Give me every upsell, right? No problems. I love it. I love this stuff. Let me refer others. Right. So there's a spectrum there of buyers. Who are you looking to attract? Again, if you're vanilla, you're ignored. Okay. So we got to have a point of differentiation here. We've got to say, you know what, here's who I'm for, or here's who this product is for. And everybody else, we're going to abandon them. Even if the product would serve that other person too. We can do a different marketing campaign to that market segment, right? Here's the organizational course. All right, let's use something I'm very familiar with, which is intangible products. Here's the organizational course on how to organize your business for realtors. Okay, because realtors love this. You're communicating directly with the realtor. You're talking about listings. You're talking about closings. You're talking about all the stuff that they need to do as their real estate professional, right? And here's the course on how to organize your real estate business. It's the same exact data. Oh my goodness, it's the same exact data as for the insurance guys. Okay, but this isn't for the insurance guys. We get momentum with the real estate people. Now we repackage, change the cover on the book, the ultimate organizational course for insurance guys. Screw your realtors, you got yours. This is for the insurance guys, and you're talking about the premiums, and you're speaking insurance language now. It's the same exact course. Okay, and then you can do that 10 times. You can do that an infinite number of times. The ultimate organizational course for Amazon widget salespeople. Fine. Okay. But they're not realtors. They don't think like realtors. They don't talk like realtors. So we're back to the idea of marketing. We're impinging on the space of who? The ideal target audience. All of this is coming out of my brain right now just because of what Neil was talking about with, this one product, which wasn't as unique as it could be. And here comes this other person who's now hijacking or hitching their wagon to Neil's train. Okay. What can Neil do that is off platform and that would appeal to someone who does pay a premium price because they want the package deal with the other stuff? And I don't even know what the product is, Neil. This is where my brain goes with this. And of course, the more you do that, the more you become a powerful seller of whatever your goods, products, and services are, the more you approach or could approach that place where you don't get paid for what you have or what you do, but you get paid for who you are. So there's a bit of a hierarchy there, right? Here's stuff. Here's what I have. You can have this, right? Give me some money. Here's services. Here's done for you, done with you, right? Now the price goes up. Okay, we're getting paid for what we do or what we induce others to do. This is right out of Think and Grow Rich, by the way. Napoleon Hill. We're on chapter 2 tonight. Get excited, everybody. 9 p.m. Eastern. Chapter 2, desire, definiteness of desire. Okay, so we're getting paid now for what we do. So there's have, there's do, and then up top we're getting paid for who we are. Why does Dan get $100,000 for writing a sales letter? It's Dan Kennedy, right? It's no joke, right? This is as good as it gets. So it's be, do, and have in that order. Or we're going in reverse order now. Have would be the lowest. Here's stuff. Do, here's what we're doing. Here's who we are up top. And when you can get paid for that, where's the competition there? There is none. In fact, I remember Tony Robbins talking about, I'm paraphrasing now, how his company, Robbins Research, was evaluated at $1 billion. So on paper, I guess he's a billionaire, right? Try and sell it. Try and sell it without selling you, yourself, your body, your brain. Oh boy, right? So what's Robbins Research without Tony Robbins? Ouch, right? So is it worth $1 billion? Yeah, I suppose as long as he's alive and kicking, and he's showing up and doing the thing and inducing others to show up and do the coaching and all the stuff they do. But where's the competition for that, right? Other motivational speakers, sure, but none of them are Tony Robbins. All right, so those are my ideas for you this morning. What can you do to augment your perceived and real value into the marketplace? And how can you make that known, right? And then unapologetically raise your prices, right? Command the top dollar from your ideal target audience who's happy to pay it. Happy, right? I like to buy stuff, buy once, buy right? Buy once, cry once, or whatever the saying is, right? I got Bowers and Wilkins 802 speakers downstairs. I think I bought them when they were $8,000 each. We're going back some years now. They're like $15,000 each now. They run beautifully. I love them. They sound amazing. Handmade in Worthing, England, for all of our Brits over there. You English, my goodness, you guys know hi-fi systems. Some of the best stereo equipment in the world's out of England. But anyway, I bought them once. I cried once, and I'm still enjoying them today, right? Or I could have bought some crap. I upgraded 15 times since then. I'm really into sound. So that's my thing. Other stuff, whatever, right? So again, ideal target audience. I'm the ideal customer for Bowers and Wilkins. I am not the ideal customer for watches. Actually, I went down this road a little bit at one point. I had a Zenith and Girard-Perregaux and Corum, and I had all these expensive watches. None of them kept time as well as my $300 Seiko that I got on eBay. And I smash into walls, and I ride my motorcycle, and it vibrates, and I snowboard, and I use power tools with it. And my goodness, this thing is awesome. It even looks nice too, if you ask me. So yeah, I'm not the ideal customer for your Patek Philippe. I could care less. Okay, so let's open the floor. Who would like to comment on sales, marketing, unique selling propositions, points of differentiation, and anything else that just fell out of my mouth? I had no idea what it was going to be until I heard it. Nicola Black has the floor. Hi, Nicola.
Hello. Hi, everyone. It's probably a question actually that sprung to mind. So again, very topical. So I mentioned I launched my new business last week, and now today my head is just frantically filled with, well, what on earth do I do now to start attracting customers and scale it up? So I've just been thinking about that whole point of difference thing. And I guess I just wanted your thoughts on, do people, when you talk about perceived difference, what I was thinking, it's more about the values behind the brand. So things like the premium ingredients I'll use, the fact that it's organic, it's ethical, it's sustainable. In your experience, is that enough of a differentiator to, and how do people, because it's not like you say, it's not tangible, but that's kind of the angle I was really looking to push the brand at. So just curious to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I would say organic ingredients are tangible, and to make that known, right? There was a beer company some years ago that did a thing where they use cold pressed hops or something. I don't know. I'm not into beer, but like cold filtered, something like that. And turns out all beer was made like that, all beer. But they were the first ones to promote that feature as somehow it's a benefit to you, right? It preserves the flavors or whatever. And because they were the first, they were known for that. And then all, anybody who knows anything about the actual process, yeah, of course, they all do that. But the perceived value was there, but it was real value. It was a real process. So the organic stuff, grown in the green forest and sustainable, that's all stuff to be sold. The perceived stuff that you can't actually quantify on a label or that you can't state as a fact would be things to answer the question, well, why should I care? Why should I care? Now we're getting more into stories, right? So some of you are familiar with Simon Sinek's work, Start With Why. So there's the how, and then there's the what, right? And then there's the why, right? So here's why we made it like this, right? So Nicola's Organics, right? There's a story behind that. I've even seen this like on restaurant menus. You walk into the restaurant, it's been there for 100 years. Of course, in England, that would be a new establishment. Right here in the States, 100 years going back a little ways. But you go and it talks about when the guy came with the wagon and set up the trading post, and now we're still enjoying the famous pies, at the pie place from Mama's, wagon pie or something. And so, but that's the story, right? Do I care? Maybe, maybe not. But that's why we're here. Why we use the organic ingredients, right? Nicola traveled to the Himalayas and met the guy, the guru guy, and he showed her the herbs. I mean, I don't know if there's a story like that, but facts tell and stories sell. And that's hard to compete with, right? So as long as I resonate with the story.
Right. No, I like that. I like Glenn's quote as well. Facts tell, but stories sell.
There you go. Oh, look at Glenn and I.
Can't
we must
take
be
credit, not original with me, Nicola.
In unison. We're in sync. Thank you, Nicola. Where's Bill and Joe and Gina and Cyril? Hey, Bill.
Hi, guys. Very quickly, started up a platform for t-shirt business and just got into doing the advertising this morning and yesterday. Did a lot of work into the night last night, and my God, the numbers have went up through the roof. Really surprised at it, but the point of difference, as you've just been alluding to there with Nicola, I put up a silly story about these t-shirts are going to be designed by myself and my 3-year-old granddaughter, who believes everything is magical, and taking it down that line, and it seems to be working so far. So hopefully we need to get it converted into sales as just opposed to likes, but the word's spreading, and I'm quite amazed at it. So yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, John. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you selling to children?
Well, I wrote on the bio, basically it's open for kids and those of us that are still kids. So it's
playful, youthful, right?
Yeah.
Flippant. Nice. Yeah. Let's see what it does. I mean, people keep buying t-shirts. I got a whole closet full of them. And I'll probably buy one. Yeah, I'll buy one for my daughter. So there you go.
I'll give you a discount. Actually,
I want to pay full retail from me. That's right. All right. Thank you, Bill. Let's go to Joe and Regina over in Florida. What's going on, Joe and Regina? Regina and Joe. Gina, Joe.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, there they are.
Hope everybody's having a good day or a night, whatever it is. I really resonated with what you said, John, about adding something that's intangible. And I thought to myself, people can't steal something that only you have. So if there's something that you're offering that they can't take, they're not worth anything until you put yourself into it. Kind of like a Tony Robbins type thing or your type thing. Like you have a certain persona that nobody else could put toward their program. So nobody can actually steal what you have. So that's that's extra, kind of like an extra lock on your product. You know, we're all afraid of people taking what we have, but if they can't take our souls and they can't take our minds, so that's kind of a good thing. So now I'm going to have to start thinking, what exactly can I put into my product that nobody can also do? It's kind of interesting. Thank you for that thought. And thank you to Star, by the way. She was a super, super, super big help this morning. I had a question that we kind of worked over, and she came to the bat and helped me out. Thank you again. Thanks,
How awesome
everyone.
is Star? She's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
That's what I think. Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you. And let's go to Cyril. And then I don't see any other hands up. So Cyril, come on out, buddy.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's well. I have a little bit to contribute. One of the things that gets me is that when I'm enthusiastic about a buy as a buyer, it's because before I even came across the product, I'd already made my mind up that I wanted to get it. So, I mean, and I think that's true of all of us here, because because most of us were on the Sophie's course, and we wouldn't have said yes because it was quite a high fee. So we wouldn't have said yes unless we'd already virtually made up our minds. So part of that journey is that, as I know my enthusiastic buys are always because I've already made my mind up. But the other thing that Gina just brought to mind was that one of the parts of copywriting is how can I put it, is putting down exactly who you are and your journey about why you're selling it, and that tends to be the reason for a lot of people buying stuff, is because when they know how you feel and why you're doing that product, you are more likely to appeal to them if they have those same feelings. Like the ecology stuff, that's why that is such a good way. The vegan stuff, and the fact that you're into the vegan stuff and you really want, in terms of the ecology and the vegan, so put together as well. Those things work, but you've got to put that stuff across in your copy. And I am having learned that through all my studies over the last couple of months, trying to find that, because sometimes it can be hard to find because we're not looking in the right place. But once you understand that idea, that's one of the ways that you differentiate yourself, is putting down who you are and what your journey is to this product. Anyway, so my little 10 cents worth. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you, Cyril. Always good to see you, my friend. Although I didn't see you, I see you're still shot today. So, well, there he is. There he's got a camera. Look at that. Hey, fantastic. Let's go to Mark in North Cal, and then we'll go to Star. Hey, Mark.
John, this is really such an appropriate topic for where I'm at right now. So thanks. I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. This whole point of differentiation and creating enthusiasm, I think it's also something that I'm on this marketing end is dealing with. It's one thing to be the consumer, and then having that brought on me and creating that interest for me. But where I'm at, I also I don't know if it's just pure enthusiasm, but it's also prudence. And what I mean by that on the seller end is, yes, this whole thing that we were talking about before we started this morning with Neil. It's one thing to have. I'm pursuing multiple opportunities. And the reason I'm doing that is I think we've all seen what's happened, in the marketplace over the, last 6, 7, or 8 months or so. We're making these adjustments. So yeah, I'm doing the Amazon, but I'm looking at some other things too. And the whole point is to continue to diversify and stay and look at other avenues that are that I have enthusiasm for, but also these are the things that, if something looks like it might be, taking a dive, or it's just not rising as quickly as I want, I have something else to look at. So I'm doing multiple things to keep myself elevated across a spectrum of opportunities. I think the detractor to that, though, in some case, though, is that if I'm chasing too many things, then I'm not giving my all to one. So I have to be careful about how quickly or how much I pursue one over the other, and just it's a matter of scheduling, that sort of thing. But that's kind of where I'm at in the process, and I am very enthusiastic, and I love doing these things. But I want to make sure that I have opportunities that stay afloat, and as things might subside in one way, I can. I forget this. Somebody said it here a bunch of times. I don't remember the exact saying, but it's this whole thing about feeding the stallions, and then whatever that saying is. I don't remember what that is, but that's the point. Is I want to give the energy to the things that seem to be working, and I want to make sure that there are things out there that are working for me, and not just relying on wood And I think that's probably happened to a number of people here who, that the rug was kind of taken out from underneath them. And now they're sitting here like, I mean, what am I going to do next? And they've given all their loyalty and all their capability. And next thing you know, they're SOL basically. So that's kind of my position on that. So thanks anyway. I know it's a little bit maybe off topic, but I think it has relevance in terms of enthusiasm and direction and priorities.
Well, Mark, you brought up the word loyalty, which I've been loyal to a fault in my life. I've noticed at times where I probably should have cut bait earlier, like way earlier, and went down with the ship. And so I guess there's got to be a good objective assessment, right, from moment to moment, right? This is good and right. I'm doing this. This is going to bear fruit, or it's time to cut bait. I mean, right? Because Glenn also reminded us the fox that chases two rabbits catches neither, right? So I guess the thing, this is a tough one for me. It's a tough one. The thing is, all right, to what degree do I persist in this thing, because knowing that it will bear fruit, and to what degree do I launch something else because maybe this is already running? This is an ideal scenario. We get some momentum with this, and maybe it's what we wanted. Maybe it's beyond what we wanted. I don't know, but we get some momentum with this thing, and now we introduce this thing to diversify, because one is a very dangerous number, very dangerous in business, right? So huge topic, Mark, that we could explore some more. Maybe you will this week when you host sessions. So good stuff. We got a few more hands up. Yeah. Hey, Star and Glenn, and then Habiba and Ego. Hey, Star.
Hey everybody. And just firstly to say, Gina, it was an absolute pleasure, and call me anytime you need a bit of help, because we are all here to help each other through this journey of technical obstacles left, right and center. But yeah, I totally get you, Mark. And, I think when I started this Amazon journey, I was a little bit fed on it being quicker than it has been, to say the least. And all the excess spend that goes on with all the additional extra bits and bobs and nuts and bolts and tools, and all very valid. And, I still, I'm starting a home decor brand, and I'm still totally focused on that. However, I'm really conscious that it's going to take, I'd need more startup funds to launch it in the way that it deserves to be launched, as in with the help of a branding company, for example, Shannon, to launch it properly and to make sure that it's aimed at the right people and it's presented in the right way from the first outing, and so I too have looked at other opportunities, and that's part of what this whole journey is for us, though, in part of this mastermind, is we are learning of new opportunities, new avenues. And I like Bill, have also got a t-shirt business on the go, and it's great, but it's a slow burner. Once you get about 50 designs up and you've got that momentum going and they're marketing you, then you will have a trickle, and that will come in the background and you won't have to do anything. However, it does take time. And it's something that I'm actually getting Elvie, my daughter, to start her own t-shirt shop within my account. She can start her own shop, and I've told her she's allowed to have Instagram if she starts her t-shirt business in order to promote it. And then by the time she's 16, she'll have earned enough money to pay for her own university education. But I have also recently encountered another new avenue, which I'm trying. And at the moment, I'm prioritizing in the way, what's going to bring me the money the quickest, basically. All of these ventures are valid, good adventures, ventures, not adventures, or both, if you like. But I'm prioritizing one above the other. And also, I have my full-time job, and just so you all know as well, I had my personal development review on Friday, and I was basically told, because, I was supposed to have my promotion in June, it was delayed. Now, definitely having that in January, but my line manager said, and I'd like to see you moving up to associate within 6 months of becoming a senior PM. So I effectively got 2 promotions in 1 PDR. So I'm moving upwards and onwards in every direction of my life, and I'm giving it my all. I'm to the detriment of my social life. My best friend seems to have gotten a bit weird and jealous, and we're not talking at the moment. She got all funny with me last week. I've told Nikki's been helping me through that personal trauma of best friend being weird, you know. But it's all going on, and it is all signs of onwards and upwards and greater things. And John, like you said, each one of us, we are the product. You know, whatever product you're selling, it is you that is selling it, and you are the product. I am the product. Bill is the product. Nancy is the product. We are all the product, and that's where you have to get to, I think. And whatever venture that you are focusing on, and I think it was Ego said something in the chat about reprioritizing, but I'm reprioritizing. Obviously, my full-time job, it comes pretty high at the top. That is my bread and butter. T-shirts in my spare time. Amazon is slightly on hold because I'm still in production. And then I've got this other new venture, which I'm putting my all into at the moment, because I believe that that can bring me in some actual readies in order to fund my Amazon business, you know? So yeah, all go, and all valid. And it is about balance and focus. And I disagree there, Glenn, that you can't chase more than one rabbit. I can chase a few, but it's just the speed at which you chase them and the focus. You know, like, I've seen that one, it's in the hedge over there. I'm going to get that one now and round back and get that one afterwards. That's what I'm doing.
So you got strategy. You're smarter than a fox, right? That's cool. Thank you, Star. You're awesome. Let's bring Glenn out here now. Get ready, everybody. Here comes Glenn.
Reverend Lavenia, I'll do this fine Monday.
Very good. Man, every time I see you in your garage, you look at that fine Lexus right there. Man, that's a beautiful car.
Isn't it gorgeous? Paula absolutely loves it. She won't even sit in anything else other than my truck, which is phenomenal. Anyway, this topic is actually right hits me right where I live, John, because how does one become, or at least get on the road to becoming that sort of person who gets paid not for what they do, but for who they are? And increasingly, I'm seeing that, as you have said manifold times, and I'm actually starting to pay attention, that any experience, training, certifications that I have, whatever I'm doing or acquiring that gets me results in my business, is something that I can then turn and offer to my customers, my clients, my business partners, as an added incentive, as increased perceived value for them. Perfect example. What I do in my particular business, enrolling customers, yes, and also enrolling business partners to work with me. Well, I've been at this a while, and I've learned a lot of lessons over the years, the application of those lessons are now getting me results in my business. I have particular certifications in coaching and counseling, NLP, these types of things, such that, again, the things that I've done are bringing me results in my business, improved results that I didn't have before. I don't know whether there's an affiliate piece to some of the other types of business, the Amazon things that people are doing. But now I can say to someone, for example, okay, listen, you're thinking about getting into business with me? Fantastic. I'll tell you what I can do. We know from experience that the people who engage with us in business, many times they have we can share all the how-to in the world. We can share all the tools, the resources. The thing that we find holds a lot of people back is their mindset. So I can help you, because of my training, experience, and so forth. I can help you to overcome, if they exist for you, some of those mental blocks, some of those limiting beliefs that hold people back, and help you increase results in your business. Now, if you decide to enroll with me right now, today, I'm prepared to offer you X number of complimentary one-to-one coaching sessions to help work on some of those things, get your mind clear and get. Now, if you decide to enroll with me and get started with me next week, then I'm happy to offer you 2 such sessions. That's one-to-one. So you see, for me, the challenge has always been the answer to your question, John. Why should I buy from you right now and not from your competition, rather than sit here and do nothing? In my case, why should I work with you right now and not work with one of your competitors rather than sit and do nothing? Well, if you come to work with me, decide to work with me, I can offer you this shortcut. I can offer you this coaching. I can offer you this unfair advantage. So for me, the distinction, what can distinguish me in working with people is the experience I've had, how I've applied it, how I've applied the training I've taken and have internalized and applied it to be more successful in my business. And now I can help you get the same types of results. It always comes back to results, doesn't it? And so for me, whatever I can do, whatever additional trainings, whatever additional, so I spend boatloads, not a tenth as much as you, John, but I spend a fair amount of money on training and webinars and workshops and so forth, training resources, so that I can then use that, create results and help pass those results on. More and more and more, it's becoming engraved upon the stone tablets of my brain. Results, share results. And that eventually is what'll bring me to that place where, people are not buying my program. People are not buying my business. They're buying me because of what I offer, because of what I bring to the table. Thanks. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Glenn. Brilliant. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant. Now, can you do that with a widget on Amazon? Maybe, maybe not. Right. So there's certain businesses and approaches that lend themselves more to customization or who is doing it, not just what is it. Right. So thank you so much, Glenn. Of course, that brings us to one of my other favorite people on planet Earth. We got three more hands up, and we got 13 minutes. We got Habiba, Ego, and Virginia. Let's go to Habiba. What's up,
Hey.
Habiba?
Yeah, so this is really striking a chord with me for a couple of reasons, and I'll just jump right to the point. I had so I'm not doing the Amazon thing, but with the business that I do, how I show up makes all the difference in the world. And the enthusiasm is it. Like when I am in my passion, when I'm connected with what I'm doing, when I believe in myself as well as what it is I have to offer, that's where my customers come from, right? And I had one of the easiest enrollments that I have ever done this weekend. And there were a couple of things that stood out for me. One was how I was showing up, my own enthusiasm. The other was that I was meeting them where they are. And I think this applies with Amazon in the sense of products as well, right? From that standpoint of, are you offering something that people need? Are you offering something that solves a problem or meets a desire, right? And so in that same sense, that was, it just, this was somebody I hadn't spoken with in 10 years, and we reconnected, we had a conversation. And what came out of that was this, she genuinely expressed what was going on in her life, and I was genuinely able to offer a solution. But the thing that's striking me is in that particular situation, and it might be a little different with people I don't know, but it's the fact that she trusts me, she likes me, she knows me well enough to know, we're not like best of friends, but she knows enough about me to know that I'm trustworthy and that what I'm recommending is there. It's true, it's solid from my recommendation. So from that same standpoint, it rolls back around to who am I being when I show up, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm showing up in that sense of, assuredness, I think is the word that's coming to me. That makes all the difference in the world. So for me, it's twofold. It's how am I showing up, and am I meeting a need? Am I addressing that? So, yeah. And then what happens for me is then obviously when I have success, it increases my enthusiasm. So then that builds momentum. So
isn't that great?
Anyway, That's my 2 cents for today.
Beautiful,
Thanks.
beautiful. Thank you so much. You just reminded me of the QQS formula from Think and Grow Rich, which we're going to get to in a few chapters, a few weeks from now. Quality, quantity, and spirit of the service you provide. So great stuff. And just based on what you just said, 2 more hands just went up. So we're going to rip through this. We got Ego, then Virginia, Ivier, and Evelyn. I want to make sure we get to everybody if possible. Hey, Ego.
Okay. Hi, guys. Glenn and Habiba, you guys kind of touched on the 3 things I was going to talk about. So the first is momentum. I think momentum is key for me. And then passion and enthusiasm. So I posted in the chat, that was actually a message for Mark, but then I posted to everyone, but it doesn't really matter anyway. I believe that I embarked on this journey to be where I am right now on this call with you guys, meeting everyone and, kind of progressing forward. So passion and enthusiasm is key. And I believe that because I've showed up and I've interacted with everyone here, I would say my receptors are heightened and I'm starting to see things differently. I came here for another reason, but I'm fulfilled, I'm happy, I'm excited about what's to come. And I know, and I'm starting to see it already. I mentioned that, like the other thing is on the back burner. I'm not pursuing it for now. And I'm not a person of regret. I don't regret. I'm very clear about my decisions. If I go into something, I'm a bold yes or bold no person. So I've had to reprioritize, and the other things are actually working for me. So one example, and I think I'll touch on it when I speak on Facilitate on Wednesday, is opportunities are coming up that I actually didn't notice. But as I put all the principles into practice, I'm starting to see them. So if I went down the path of, like bad sample or so-and-so not responding to me and from another country, I'm slowing myself down. This train is going so fast. I can't afford for that to slow me down right now. Right. So, I mentioned on Friday, the streams. One of them was the fact that I invested in a farm. That was on Friday. It was a pineapple farm. An opportunity presented itself on Sunday. Yesterday, today's Monday, right? Yesterday. So if I wasn't for another, like a soybean farm, if I wasn't paying attention or passionate or, persistent and thinking, diversity as well, then I'd just be zoomed in on this one thing I'm chasing. There's so many things out of my control and I can't move forward. So that's really why, I posted that message, and somebody asked, am I staying in this group? Of course I am. This isn't an Amazon group. This is GLSM. So I'm here to stay.
Wow. Well, thank you, Ego, and congratulations on all the opportunity that you attract. Yes, you attract into your life. That is so beautiful. Let's go to Virginia, then Ivia and Evelyn. Hey, Virginia.
Good morning. Well, it's morning where I am still. Okay,
too.
I'm going to keep this very brief, but this is off topic. I just want to express an appreciation for being able to come to this group and the different times that meetings are happening, because in my day job, I'm applying for a higher position, and I just got an email from HR on Thursday saying that I didn't qualify, even though I'd already been through one interview, and even though I'm like the most qualified, I didn't qualify because I had a corrective action verbal warning. And you can't have any within 180 days, which was totally news to me. Okay, I had no idea. And when they refreshed my memory on a conversation that happened with the supervisor who is no longer in that role, the job I'm applying for, was like, there was nothing corrective about that. That was just feedback. So they were going to look into it. And the bottom line is the next day, Friday, they resolved it. It was not a corrective action. It should never have been on my account. I would never have known about it, actually, if I had not applied for this position. But the first thing I did because this meeting didn't happen till after hours, 5 p.m. Denver time. So the first thing I did, besides having steam come out of my ears and making a few phone calls, was I got on Mark's group Thursday night. I had no idea what you guys were talking about. I didn't care what you were talking about. I just wanted to be surrounded by people that I know appreciate me, encourage me, are there for me. And it was just so nice to be able to jump in on something that was happening. And I just love everything that's in this group. And as a result, actually in 2 hours, I have a third interview. But I was like, where are my peeps? Oh my God, I need to go have like my counseling group, my therapy group. Where are they? I don't care what's talking about e-commerce and tools of businesses. I just want to be around like-minded people. So just a thank you for this group.
Well, thank you, Virginia. So glad you're here and that you got that all worked out. That is beautiful. We're going to wrap up with Ivier, and then I see Evelyn and Therese. If we got burning desires, Ivier, you've got the floor.
Thanks, John. Virginia, you've already pictured that happening in your mind, so get ready. It's coming. It's coming. That conversation is going to go better than you expect. Just to say that this environment, I think, has made us more receptive to ideas for growth and to achieving our whys, purely because we are in the right environment. So we're being fed, our minds are being fed, our hearts, our spirits, we're just more open than the average person out there. And I can say this because last night or early hours of this morning on Wayne's call, I got an email from somebody who I had reached out to about something else. And they basically said, that my approach was devious and they suspect that I'm now part of a cult. I know, that was my reaction to, I had to laugh because I thought to myself, it just shows that because you're so aware and you're open to possibilities and opportunities, your antenna and your radar is just sharper than the average person. So of course, when you communicate now and you project and you show up, you're just so in tune and so alert that you might appear to be away with the fairies to the average person who's still so grounded and in fact, probably receding into the ground, how much more blossoming. So that just showed me that what we're doing here is actually going to set us apart. It's going to make us look different. For some people, it's going to make us seem odd, but let's just keep going. I mean, all we want is a cross section of the how many billion people out there. We don't want every single billion, whatever, to be our customers or clients. We just want a little slice of the pie, and there's enough for everyone. So that just gave me extra oomph to keep going. And I thought, good, okay, it means I'm closer to where I'm going. And if they don't want to be on the journey with me, it's all right. I will go find my people who are out there and who are waiting for me to show up. So that's my 2 cents.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ego. And yeah, I don't know if we have any cult leaders in our midst. Okay, very good. Evelyn, what say you, Evelyn?
Hey guys, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Hooray.
For all of you who wants Bill's link and will lose it in the chat without having to scroll up, it's already on the Facebook page. And any one of you that want to promote your business that would like all of us to get access to, if it's okay with John, I'll keep on posting the links and you guys can support them. And please try to be a little bit more active on the Facebook page and create engagement. I have also made a post for birthdays. So I know that we honored and celebrated EVA, but I know that we have more birthdays this month. So please just share so we can celebrate you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you.
Sorry, can I just quickly jump in on that? Because I wasn't sure about that with posting on the page, because I made the t-shirt saying my limiting beliefs are behind me, and behind it says limiting beliefs. And I have actually made that. So I could actually post that on the page, but I was a bit like, oh, is that okay? I didn't know if it was. So is that okay to post?
Send me the link. Send me the link and I'll post it for you.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to be, so we're talking about like t-shirt deals and stuff. Obviously there's got to be, checks on what we do with the Facebook group. So
Yeah.
Evelyn, you and I will get together more on that, but t-shirts, great.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Let's wrap up with Therese. Hey, Therese, you've got the floor.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
It's nice to be here today and have a little bit of social engagement. I've been locked inside for 4 days. We have a pretty toxic air environment here, and
We're actually seeing smoke here in Phoenix. We with the sun, like the sun is kind of hazy, and like the mountains are usually crystal clear, and it's like what's happening? It's smoke from California, apparently.
yeah, it's insane.
Right.
I am pleased that I haven't been evacuated yet. I'm still just on hold, so that's good. It's been a little hard to focus, I have to admit. But I just wanted to make a comment. Ego, thank you for sharing about kind of just taking a moment, step back. You know, this Amazon journey can be so consuming, and there's that like trying to run uphill, you know, with weights on to achieve these things and to get results. And while yes, I am doing that, I find it interesting that all these other opportunities have presented themselves. And I really believe it's about law of attraction and mindset and this group. And it's funny that someone mentioned like this cult. Oh, it was Evier. It's funny. It's amazing what people can create when you're in a supportive environment like this, right? It shifts your whole mindset. It gives you energy to fuel every day, and it changes how you engage with the universe. And so the law of attraction. And so anyway, I just wanted to say, I too have had 3 amazing like opportunities present themselves to me in a week. And I'm thrilled and filled with enthusiasm and passion. And I just want to say thank you for being a part of it. Thank you, John, our leader. If you want to call it a cult, you can. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Well, in a cult, everybody's supposed to think the same thing. Here, you're supposed to think for yourself. So it's kind of like the exact opposite.
It's not really a cult.
Yeah.
It's just a cult. The cult of individuality. How about that?
Right,
The cult
there
of
you go.
individuality.
All right. So with that, my friends, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get busy because we got a big day here. Check for Wayne's Metaphors for Success recording from last night here in the States anyway, last night. So that's getting posted to the team website there. And then at 4:30 my time, 7:30 Eastern, we've got e-commerce work group with Stuart Wild, and we're having a spectacular topic today called Profitability, Dropshipping 101, how to avoid getting hijacked. Y más, which means and more in Spanish. And so that's again at 7:30 p.m. And then we're going to wrap up tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock here in the West with our chapter 2, Desire, Think and Grow Rich, original text. Be there or watch the recording. I will see you guys real soon. Make it a great day. Bye for now.
Bye.
Hold on.
Bye.